Have you ever felt exhausted? Not the kind of exhaustion that sleep can fix, but the kind that weighs heavy in your chest, the kind that lingers in the quiet, because you don't even have the energy to explain what you're going through. You go through your day, smiling when expected, nodding when necessary. But inside, you're quietly falling apart, and no one seems to notice, because you're not crying, because you're not complaining, because you're not asking for help. But what if I told you that even in your silence, you're still fighting? That sometimes saying nothing at all can be the loudest form of courage. We often assume struggle must be loud, that pain needs to come with tears, that strength must roar. But what if your quiet is proof that you're still holding on? Maybe, just maybe, silence isn't weakness, it's survival. We live in a world that worships noise. The louder you are, the more you're seen. The more you share, the more real they say you are. We're told to speak up, open up, show up. Don't keep things to yourself, they say. Tell us how you feel. But what if you're not ready? What if your silence isn't about hiding, but about protecting what's still healing inside you? In a world that moves fast, your pause looks like weakness. Your quiet looks like distance. Your stillness is mistaken for giving up. But here's what they don't see. Behind that silence, you're choosing not to break. Behind that pause, you're gently gathering the pieces of yourself. And behind that stillness, you're learning how to breathe again without needing to prove anything to anyone. Because not every wound needs an audience. Not every pain needs a post. Not every moment of healing needs to be loud. Some of the strongest battles are fought in whispers. There's a kind of silence that doesn't come from giving up, but from choosing to survive quietly. You know that kind of silence, the kind that settles in when words can't carry the weight anymore, when your heart is too tired to explain itself again, the one that whispers, "I'm doing the best I can. Please don't ask for more." Some days, your silence is the only thing holding you together, because to speak would mean unraveling, to explain would mean reliving, to pretend strength would mean lying. So you choose quiet, not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to know. Not every storm needs to be shared, not every ache needs to be understood, and not every pain needs to be poetic. Sometimes, surviving in silence is the bravest thing you can do, because while the world celebrates the loud, the real kind of strength often goes unseen, unpraised, unshared. But it's there. And maybe, just maybe, that kind of strength is worth more than 1,000 words. We live in a world obsessed with visibility. The louder you are, the more noticed you become. The more you show, the more you're praised. The more you produce, the more you're validated. And in all that noise, it's easy to feel forgotten. Like if no one claps, your effort didn't count. Like if your growth isn't documented, it didn't happen. Like if your healing isn't aesthetic, it's not real. But here's the truth. You don't have to be seen to be valuable. Not every flower blooms in spring. Not every star shines the brightest. And not every kind of growth is meant to be public. Some healing is quiet. Some progress is private. Some victories are deeply personal. And that's okay. Just because the world doesn't notice doesn't mean it didn't happen. Just because you're not in the spotlight doesn't mean you're in the dark. You are allowed to grow in silence. You are allowed to bloom in your own time. You are allowed to exist without proving anything to anyone, because your worth was never meant to be measured by visibility. There comes a moment when the chaos in your mind starts to quiet, not because everything is fixed, but because you stop fighting everything. You stop resisting where you are. You stop chasing where you think you should be. You stop punishing yourself for not being enough. And instead, you begin to breathe, not the shallow breath that keeps you functioning, but the kind that reaches your soul, the kind that says, "I'm here, I'm alive, I'm healing." It's not loud, it's not cinematic, it's not a breakthrough that will go viral, but it's real. It's the sigh of relief after holding yourself together for too long. It's the quiet, "I'm okay," after a night of silent battles. It's the soft smile you give yourself in the mirror when no one else is watching. This is the part no one talks about, the part after the breakdown, where you rebuild, slowly, gently, patiently, not to become someone new, but to return to someone true. And maybe that's what healing really is, not escaping your past, but learning to walk alongside it without fear. So if today you feel behind, if the world feels too fast, if you feel like you've lost your way, pause, breathe, and remember this: you are not broken, you are not late, you are not failing, you are simply becoming. And becoming takes time. You are allowed to rest. You are allowed to grow at your own pace. You are allowed to not have it all figured out. Because life isn't a checklist, it's a journey, raw, messy, beautiful, and healing. Healing isn't loud. It's in the quiet moments, the tiny choices, the gentle steps forward. So next time you doubt your progress, ask yourself, am I still showing up? Am I still trying? Then trust this truth. That is enough. You are enough. And somewhere, in the quiet of your becoming, your story is unfolding exactly as it should. And if this message found you in a moment you needed it most, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might be silently struggling too. Leave a comment and tell me, what part of this spoke to your heart today? I'd love to read your thoughts, your story, or even just a single word that describes how you're feeling. And if you'd like more quiet reminders like this, tap that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on the bell. Not for the algorithm, but for you. So you don't forget to pause, breathe, and just be.